Hi, for today I'm gonna show you image mapping definition that is a little bit different than the circle to cylinder definition that you usually see online and that I did before. So this one's with lofted lines, kind of creating an illusion type image mapping on a surface with different distances. So to start with a surface, I have it copied over here. I'm going to set it and reparameterize it. This creates a 0 to 1 distance instead of 0 to whatever distance these are. It'll be easier for the image mapping to read. Then I'm going to divide surface. I'm going to tie this to the S on the surface. Divide surface, and then as you can see it's reading 10 points and 10 points on each U and the V. I'm going to do just a random number, 77 and 77. Maybe I'll do this a little bit less, and then you can change them around. Then to do image sampler, you type it in, double click on it, and then you can set the X and Y domains and the filters for it. File path is right here with the three little dots, and you can choose whatever image. You can put it in here and save. Then you can tie it to the UV. I'm going to use one that I've already set up here and tie this to the UV. So as I said, you need to set it to 0 to 1. This one's set to the actual dimensions of the image, which you may get when you actually put in the image. And then I'm going to do a red channel so it reads all the white as red. I would suggest to do Photoshop on your image to make it more contrasty, because the more contrasty, the more you can actually read the image on the surface. Otherwise you probably won't be able to read it so well. This goes for any image mapping definition. Then I'm going to connect it to a line. So these points that I've created on the surface are gonna connect to each other through a line. So this will connect to the start of the line. There's the distance, and then the direction, and then there's the length. So the direction will be the normal. The normal is, I'm using the normal of the surface because that way it's perpendicular to the surface instead of one direction. That may not work with surfaces that undulate like this. The length, I'm gonna for now use the image as its length as well. So you'll see, you can kind of see it, not so well, but you can kind of start seeing the image being mapped. The lines are very, very small. So to create lines that are a little longer, you want to multiply them, or to do a math equation for them. So let's do multiplication. Because right now, this line, the distance, is reading as 0.9 millimeters. Let's double it. Let's do a multiplication of, you're just going to connect the image sampler to the A and the R to the L. Right now it's reading at the same, at 0.9. Let's create a multiplication of 2. So 0.9 will become double that. As you saw on the left, it changed, and now it's at 1.9. And you can obviously go higher and higher, make it longer, so that way you can kind of read it on the surface a little bit better, as you can see here. So let's continue on. I'm gonna turn all these off so that way they're not in the way, and partition the list. So this creates sublists of all these lengths. And then we're going to tie it to the 77 over here that is tied to the U of the surface, so that way it subdivides these partitions into the same, and it all corresponds to each other. We'll type in endpoints, so basically the lines that I had shown before, it'll create endpoints for them. So it'll create this is the start point, and this is the end point. Start point is on the surface, end point is away from the surface. Then polyline will tie all these points together. So on the start, it will tie all the start points together, as like you see on my left. And then for the endpoints, it will tie all the endpoints together. If the start and end points are in the same plane, then it'll just recreate the line that I created before. If it's away from the plane, it'll connect all of these together. Let's turn these off for now, and let's weave. So weave will help tell the definition, the loft node, where to loft. So instead of lofting that way, it will loft this way. And that's how you get the lofted image all together. For my definition over there, I just created my custom preview and color swatch. Which creates a color, but it's just so you can see better. Oops. I'm gonna turn all these off, and you can see better the color. Color swatch. Here. And you can double click and set whatever color you want. And that's it for now. This is your image mapping.